This is a marvellous day for democracy. This is a very clear indication to Boris Johnson and to the government that you cannot shut down Parliament with impunity. This is an absolutely stunning judgment by the Supreme Court today. None of us anticipated that we would have a result such as this. It is now very clear that we all have a job to do. We must be back in Parliament immediately. I know the Speaker is going to be consulting with all the party leaders. We want to get back to work. And quite frankly, on the back of this, Boris Johnson must resign immediately.
The Supreme Court spoke today with utter clarity and unanimously. We have not been prorogued. We must now return as members of Parliament to represent our constituents. The executive does not have the power to override the voice of parliamentary democracy, and Parliament is sovereign. Johnson must resign.
Absolutely, and I think important here too is the fact that we must have a written constitution after this. Thankfully, the Supreme Court has ruled unanimously in our favour, but it should never have come to this. It shouldn't require the courts to have to uphold parliamentary sovereignty. That is why, as well as celebrating this victory today, we must set about putting in place a written democracy. We need a written constitution, a citizens' assembly to set out that written constitution so that we are not at the whim anymore of gentlemen's agreements that no longer work. This is a triumph for parliamentary sovereignty. This is a triumph for all of us, and I pay tribute to all of the amazing people inside the court and outside the court that have delivered this result. Johnson must go, and we must get back to work.
Hear, hear.
There's something really important also to say, that this is the full court, all 11, and it was unanimous. And I don't think any of us, in truth, ever thought that they would quash the prorogation. This is a very serious matter. It has huge constitutional consequences. It's a fantastic day for democracy. And at last, the people of this country are taking back control. We're all fed up with Brexit. We want it to come to an end. And the only way now to resolve it is to have that people's vote and get it back to the British people.
Boris Johnson, what difference does any of us have a vote of no confidence and get rid of it?
What we wanted to do is to make sure that we don't crash out on the 31st of October. That was the first priority. It is quite clear that this is a Prime Minister that does not have the dignity that's required for office. He's acted out with his powers. He should go. We want to get rid of him. We will get rid of him. We want to make sure in the first instance we don't leave the European Union on a no-deal basis. I want to thank everybody, colleagues on a cross-party basis that have come together, those that have brought the legal action. Brilliant. This is a brilliant day for democracy. Congratulations to everyone.
Paul Bratt, there's Paul for my TV. Sorry. Well, I think it shows people that this government is wholly incapable of solving the Brexit crisis. There is a deal on the table. The British people are fed up with Brexit. We're all fed up with Brexit. And there is a solution to the crisis. And that solution is to get this matter back to the British people by way of that people's vote, that confirmatory referendum. It's the only way through it. But I think it also shows that this Prime Minister and this government is unfit to rule our country. I personally would like a government of national unity, and we know enough great politicians who could lead and do the job the British people are now crying out for. They want certainty, they want leadership, and I believe they want that people's vote.